What is up, YouTube world? I'm going to give everyone a moment to come in. I have my beautiful sisters in the building today.
Hey, hey.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, my sisters on the panel. How are you doing today?
Good
Doing,
afternoon. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. How you doing,
yes,
Good.
doing good. We had the little clip it you just played cut Sister Slayer off.
I'm sorry about that. I
No,
this
it's okay. I ain't used to coming in this way, so that was just me. So it's cool.
I'm like, man, because Ashley said we started. She Ashley did her introduction, and True Slayer was coming behind her, and then before you know it, the thing just pop up. I'm like, goodness,
And you know what I hate about that, you guys? You hear me strolling with my nails to get it, but I do it to give everybody a chance to know we live. You get what I'm
right?
saying? I don't want to just start talking and then people come in while we saying something and they like, what? What I miss?
Slayer
Right.
every time, because I had it takes some time for me to get used to it. Every time it would happen, I don't know why I would just jump. I'm like, I'm like, there you go again, y'all.
My mama hate that. She would
What you
stroll
said?
past that
Showtime,
little
huh?
yes. But good afternoon, everyone coming in the building. We appreciate you being here. Happy Saturday. Blessings to you and your family. How's everyone doing
That's
today?
right. Happy
Uh,
Saturday, everybody. I know it's
Yes.
a beautiful day here in Texas. I don't know where y'all at, but it's beautiful outside. Try to catch me a little bit of it before it start getting dark.
What part of
Yeah,
Texas?
Dallas.
Okay, you did say that. That's right. My dad
Mm-hmm.
used to say in Sugarland, Houston.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
like 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's all right down here. I like it.
Yeah, I bet.
I've I've never been to Texas before.
So that'll be a trip we have to take, Angie. You will
Yeah,
love it. Even the air is different. I can't explain it. You know what I'm trying to say,
Yep.
truth said.
I sure do. Me, especially being from where you at. I just,
Yes.
you know, I,
Night and
I'm
day
like,
experience. The air here is cloggy. And when I
yeah.
say a different air, it's different. Trust
they
me.
say they say Houston, Texas is like Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
I've only been there a couple times since I've been living here because I moved here, then COVID was going on, and that stopped a lot of movement and stuff. And I've been really building and really super focused like since I've been here. So I've only been over there a couple times, but it be lit over there. They have the best food over there. Dallas food ain't really hitting, to be honest. It's just tacos and margaritas. That's what you're gonna get everywhere. Tacos and margaritas.
What?
But in Houston, which is okay with me because that's my favorites. But
I
like in
love
Houston,
tacos
they be
too.
having everything. Like they just be throwing down in Houston. So that's where the food is at.
Which one is the capital?
Excuse me, hold on. Austin is the
Okay.
capital.
Oh, okay. Austin. Okay.
Sorry, I'm flossing.
No, you okay? I'm water.
But
So
anyway, so yeah.
I'm trying to give everybody a moment to come in and comment. I guess we still have bushwatchers because no one has said anything. Um, I don't know what everyone's doing today. We did promise you all that we were going to go live and give our opinion on the sleeping Israelite that wakes up out of his sleep a year later and decides to subliminally sub Robert today, I guess, and lay down the law, but not lay down the law. There to give her insight on the hot tea, better known as the hot,
Yes.
better known as the trolling, because I don't know what that was. Like that was crazy. Like that was really pointless. That was a waste of everyone's hour and 30 minutes out of their life. Break room in the building. Hey,
Shout out to the queen.
Gift to gift.
yes. Shout out. She said she walking the dog. Oh, we love you too, boo. Thank you for last night. Did you guys get a chance to check Break Room out last night? She was having a good time.
Yes,
I
Yesterday
didn't.
I saw before I fell asleep. She was in there jamming.
yeah, she looked so pretty, and I was so like in my pajamas in the bed jamming. I'm like, look at Break Room. She have a happy life, you know.
Right.
That's why she's
That's how
always happy. That's how you have
that's
to.
that's what it's supposed to be. Everybody having happy lives. And I
Yes,
seen her dog. You have a beautiful dog, y'all. She got a big old dog too.
I
Oh
love her
goodness.
dog, a little white dog. I said,
Yeah.
Break Room be getting that dog lit. Break room and Bubba, they be smoking in that dog face. I'm gonna tell you something funny, you guys. It was my mama's birthday, right?
Hmm.
And my sister and them has a small dog. I posted the pictures. I might post some in my community. I love them. They my nephew dogs. So anyhow, they gave the dog an edible, and they said, "Oh, it's not working. We'll give him another one." Why the
Mm.
dog did not move? The dog was peeing on himself. We start freaking out. The dog was, I don't want to say sick, but for 2 days straight, he was getting hot. Like we were so scared
Oh.
because his little body wasn't used to that, and we regretted it. At first, it was funny to us. We like, oh my gosh, look, he's so stuck. We thought he was just gonna do like commercials when you give dogs, a brownie or something. They start eating, getting the munchies. All of a sudden,
Y'all
the
just
dog started freaking out. He sat down forever, just looking around, peeing on himself, and I think he even started shaking a little bit. We
y'all
was
just
Mm-mm.
like, oh my
torturing the animals. That's
God.
animal cruelty.
It is. We felt terrible. We bought him the biggest doggy treat. We went to the ice cream place. Do you take your dog to the ice cream place, break room in the summer, and get them that little dog? What is it called? Them little doggy bowls where they get that little ice cream.
The pup cup or something like
Yeah,
that.
pup cup. Yeah, they felt terrible,
No.
guys.
They be tearing that little whipped cream up, don't they?
Man, yes, they do. They feel special. We eating our ice cream and they looking at us like, "You the best master. Thank you. Thank you for thinking of me on this hot day. I needed this."
Right.
But yes, that was so funny. So I know your dog be getting lit break room. You can't tell me any different. Or he catching contact. But we don't know if you got a chance break room or anyone else. I just don't understand. Okay, here you go, Angie. Shout out to everyone
Okay.
coming in.
Candace says, I just
Hey,
don't
everybody.
understand how the first baby daddy got something to say about Brianna wanting LaTruth to adopt his kids. She wanted that. He said no. So why be mad at Robert? Exactly, Queen. Thank you for coming in.
Yes. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
for coming in. Why are you so mad
You
at
know what?
Robert and you give Janelle so much permission and right to do things to your children? And I can't wait for Truth Slayer to explain that. But you have an issue with Robert, the man who took on
Mhm.
your kids and 99.9% of your responsibility when you was not there. We did not
Right.
see you, bro. You was painted in a light that you were by your ex. Don't forget that. We didn't go looking for you. How we met you, she came on camera And she said all these things about you that you were supposed to debunk today, but you danced around like you was Michael Jackson. So don't try to turn around and have so much energy towards Robert. By the grace of God, you able to get out of your child support. By the grace of God, you able to have this platform now that we see you on, all because of LaTruth, because we would not know you. And if Brianna was working at Best Buy, guess what, boo? You'll be on child support. So you should be praising Robert.
Yeah, I'm not
Exactly.
understanding what's really going on. It's like, you know, I would have been really shocked had he come out and just guns a blazing in terms of like, you know, just straight up shots fired, just, you know, no couth because he says he's an, you know, he's an Israelite, he's a man of God. So I would have been surprised for him to do that. But I also expected a lot more like direct fire at some point because of how he wrote his post about the fact that he was going to come on here and speak on things. So to me, his post was kind of gaslit, and it didn't really work out that way.
Right.
Which, in one hand, I'm happy because he shouldn't be out here being ignorant because of, you know, who he says he is and what he stands on. So that part is, you know, consistent.
Right.
However, uh, my experience with the live, and if anybody in here, you know, has a clarifying point to make, please let me know. Let us know. I took it because I did go in and out, but I think I might have spent a little bit more time in, maybe. But if I missed something, let me know. But my interpretation was that he, before mentioning anything really directly about the saga, the truth, anything, he really just put up a different clips of different content, different things that have been shared on the internet. And then he and his Israelite brother would kind of break it down, give some biblical reference to that piece of content, and then they would kind of what they say, building on precept after precept. So, you know, people take a lot of things in the Bible out of context, and the idea is that you would not just take one scripture and then, you know, use that as evidence to benefit you, but that you have to drill back and into the word to know where did this come from, and to make sure your context is appropriate.
I
So,
do have to ask you this, Truth Slayer, and I'm gonna,
mhm,
excuse me, ask you a little questions along the way that a couple people might want to ask. And we also
uh-huh,
have an open panel after she's done telling us and explaining what she witnessed from the sleeping Israelite this morning live. But in that live, the clips that he was showing, was it anything containing to the questions that were asked or the things that he was trying to insinuate he was going to speak on today, or the receipts that he had? Was any of those clips
well,
worthless? Were they, I mean,
well,
were
the
they
one,
point, did they make a point?
yeah,
I
the
can't
one
even,
that I recall was, it may have been the very first one, if I recall correctly, where it looked like it was a little boy, and he probably had to be like 3 or 4. He looked real small to me, and um, the caption was saying that the this was the grandfather of the child. The mother had brought the little boy to the grandfather because he was really disrespectful to his stepfather, and she brought him to her father for correction. And the grandfather was telling the little boy, you know, that's a grown man. You're going to respect him. You know, basically, you know, I don't want to hear about this type of behavior again. I'm gonna come over there and I'm gonna get in your butt and stuff like that. So then he pauses it, and then he and his Israelite brother start talking about scriptural reference to, you know, like sparing a rod, spoil a child, and all of that. So first they're just kind of making these certain references, not pointing to anything saga related, to kind of build their case or like to lay a foundation to answering the questions. So I was more interested in him getting directly to it, but I did want to kind of see how did he navigate the scripture? Like, what are you, you know, you referencing this first, and it should be first, but is it really going to tie to what we want to know? So then at the
Right.
very end, you know, at the very end, he's like, well, you know, so I'm gonna answer some of these internet questions. You know, I'm not dodging, ducking, dodging nothing. You know, he adjusting his hat and getting like he really finna get down and into it. But he basically just said that um this is how I interpreted it overall. His references to sparing the rod and spoiling the child, and then the biblical references of when a man takes a woman as his wife, which he said only in the world, in the physical world, are their boyfriends and girlfriends, right?
Right.
That biblically, if you are a man that claims a woman, she is your wife and you are her husband. And when that is the case, he must take on whatever comes with her. Her, however many children she got, he needs to be the, the provider and the protector of her and her children, and also be able to discipline the spare the rod spoil the child thing. So he's like, y'all people in the world are the ones that got this messed up, because biblically, if he's there, he is responsible for those kids. So I took it as though he was saying that since the truth did claim her, married her, or whatever, has these children, that by him saying, I didn't say I was going to adopt him, I didn't say I wanted to adopt him, that he's foul for
That's
saying that,
Stop
because
playing.
he's the one that is over there and supposed to take on her and whatever comes with her. Now that was my
See,
interpretation.
that's manipulation and that's abusive, because what you're doing is you're taking away your accountability and placing it onto someone else. You laid down
Hmm.
with her, you had children with her, you made a unity with her, with you guys relationship to have children. It is your responsibility for you to take care of your children, and you failed to do
Absolutely.
Yeah.
that, and you place that responsibility on the back of a complete stranger that you didn't even take the time to get to know who was going to be around.
Yeah, because see, in the
Absolutely.
comments, they were saying, the comments were, they was eating in the comments, and they're like, no, tell us about, did you ever took your dogs on the kids? We want to know that. We want to know,
Wait,
Bree said
wait.
that you
Before you go
abused.
there, let me say one thing, sis, because I do have to comment on that. For him to sit up there and justify Brianna saying he should adopt the kids, you look weak and wrong. You're the father. So there's no excuse for you wanting it to be okay for another man to adopt your kids, for one. And for two, were you trying to right the wrongdoings of saying Janelle being in that household, it's okay for him to discipline your kids and your kids should listen to him because he's the adult and the father figure in that home no matter what, when that man could be doing something wrong to your children. And by you going by the scripture word for word, allegedly being a woke Israelite, you teaching that to your children, you drilling that in their head no matter what. Well, I can't do nothing. That's your mama boyfriend. That's who she choose to be with. Just respect him. He's the adult. Who's the safe place for these kids? Who is the one that's standing in line when something's wrong and they want to speak up to someone? When you're just playing house with them for a little while, when you're just reading scriptures with them for a moment, and then they go back home to their reality. And their reality can be so bad and devastating. But Father, on the other hand, he's telling them that he's the adult over there. I can't do anything. That's who your mom chooses to love. So when do we draw the
Right.
lines that are crossed here? And I'm going to read a few of the comments first, and then I'll let you continue on because I don't want to fall behind today. I'm gonna have me and Angie as well. Candace said that the video came out months ago. He had nothing to say, and this proof she wanted that, not Robert.
Yep.
And she
Yep.
said she wasn't thinking about that sleep in Israel. Like Robert said, she wanted him to adopt the kids for stability. And he was talking about a divorce at that time. And Tiffatat, good afternoon. Thank you for coming in the building. We appreciate you, sis. Everyone else coming in, please show your girls some love and hit that like button. We have sis, Truth Slayer, and Angie, just lovely me on the platform today. We are voicing our opinion on the sleeping Israelite. And Truth Slayer watched it this morning, and she is giving everyone an insight. You do not have to go watch the video. It's a waste of time. Um, Go ahead, Truth Slayer, sis. What was you saying?
Girl, I was trying so hard to hold on to exactly what I was saying too. Um,
I
because I
apologize.
got that.
Angie, you got to
No, it's
keep up
okay. I
with the
got that
comments,
bad.
Angie. You
Girl, I'm
heard
getting
me?
old. Girl, I got that bad.
Yeah.
No, no. And I was just, basically saying that, you mentioned about the discipline of his son. So if every time the mother decides to entertain a new man, he has rights and authority,
So,
and it'd be one thing if he had sit down and politic with his brother and they've established a man-to-man relationship and understanding about the joint parenting of these children. And then
mm,
now you trust him enough to give the discipline to the child, then say that happened. Well, hey, I met this gentleman. We've had extensive talks about, him being in the home with my children, and we have an understanding, and he is authorized to discipline him. I don't know how it came out and what y'all said, but and so on and so forth. So if that's what happened, then say that. That's
right.
what your elders should be advising you to do, is to go and talk to a man and sit down with a man face to face or one on one and get an understanding, not taking hearsay from your scorned baby mother and then making a whole public, response about it, when you could just, and maybe they have attempted to talk behind the scenes. That part we don't know. So we can only reference what we do know, right? And so I just took it as though he was saying, um, you know, not that he don't love his children or anything. And like I said, I did go in and out of the live. If I did miss something critical that negates my opinion, I'm very much open, to a respectful correction.
Mm,
But what I noticed was just that he was basically saying, y'all go by the world standards. I don't view things through those lenses. I go by biblically. Then he brought up, um, Angie, help me with this. The what is the book called that has the lost books of the Bible in it?
Oh,
Um,
dang, and I know it.
I can't even call it right now, but that particular
I
book,
think I got it too. You could say the lost books of the Bibles.
yeah,
You
the
could say
lost
that.
books of the Bible. And he was trying to, he was, another thing that, I know y'all don't know nothing about this, but this what I know. So he went into that and was again trying to say that he understands that everybody's um perspective is not, through the correct lens. And then he did read,
but
they did
his is
to me.
correct.
Yeah, but it was funny to me how he did speak directly to questions, and because they were really just completely ignoring the chat, like the whole hour or whatever that they were doing all of this, laying a foundation. And then then his friend was like, well, or they would read a couple questions about people saying, so basically like you trying to hide behind the scripture and not answer these questions. And he
Right.
found, him and his brother found that to be funny, cause saying that like, you're supposed to be, and I did agree with him in the overall sense that yes, you are supposed to be living and going by the word of God. So to say somebody hiding behind it is a strong accusation, because I could be living by the word and not hiding behind it. But that person's interpretation was evidently that they felt he was hiding behind it and not living by it.
Because in this, if you think about it, in this sense, he is actually using the word to take away his own accountability to his children.
Yeah.
And to me, you're nothing but a religious deadbeat, because you don't really care about your children. You don't care about how they feel. You don't care that they want you. And it's not to take away from any step parents, but they want their parents. That's the part that you're missing, and you're throwing accountability onto someone else, and you're using the Bible to back you. That's or religion to back you, and it's actually ignorant. um it's selfish, and they're in the interpretation of the scriptures or the word is being only interpreted in your favor. It's not being interpreted for the correct purposes. That's not fair. And to manipulate people based upon, the beliefs or the understanding of, their almighty, or their spiritual practices, that is abusive. It's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. It's definitely
Mm-hmm.
wrong. You got a comment. What you?
Candace says he told Robert he didn't want to talk about it because of his religion. Exactly. He didn't even want to talk about this entire situation. But now, because you have permission, which I think as adults, we all need to improve with having, and that speaks volumes. Think about it. The scriptures is telling him to throw accountability to someone else, and also that he needs permission from someone else to be to even speak, and that means that you're mentally a child. You're not even an adult. You
You know,
shouldn't
he
have
was
any.
trying to. I'm
Mhm.
sorry.
It's like you're not even an adult, because you don't you shouldn't have any accountability, and you shouldn't be able to speak when you need to. To me, it's really sad that he has that mindset. He's so broken, he can't even realize how broken he is, but he's going to give scripture to people, thinking that and wanting them to feel as if they're broken.
And
No,
he's
to
better
have
than them. And that's how he tries to come off. And Michelle says, yes, you are correct. It's sad
right.
that he's using scriptures to not only justify the lack of accountability when it comes to him as a father, when it comes to the things that Brianna has done, to justify that, to pacify it, to condone it, but to try to strike at us as though we're living wrong. We're living in a false reality. This is what it is. You're wrong. You have it all wrong, all of you. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I mean,
And
in
then,
my mind, I'm sorry.
no, you're okay.
In my mind, I interpreted in the spirit as though, and I want to say this right, as though overall the goal is to not um make any implications against Bree, about her parenting, her decision making when it comes to them, and who she has around them. So to me, the way of doing that is to say, like, because he said, I know I know what's going on with my kids, and they're fine, they're healthy, they're well taken care of, you know, and just supplying a roof and clothes and food to a child is not complete and total care of a child. Okay, you can be neglecting them in other ways that they really need for development. But I took it as though he was trying to um, kind of come alongside Bree in a way with this, right? Where he's not, because if he was really going to be completely honest, it would be to her detriment, right? Because it would have to say,
Mhm.
you got this man over here, he putting his hands on my kids, what's wrong with you? Like, none of that is in her favor. So the best way to do it was to bring the scripture out and say, I know what's going on over there, they're fine, they're well taken care of, and these accusation Josh saying pertaining to, the discipline and the adoption and all of that. This is how I can justify in scripture why, even if she was asking him to adopt the children and he was saying no, heck, in the Bible it says he should be adopting them. So he wrong for not adopting them. I'm like,
Right.
what is going on here? I'm like, is that what
Exactly.
he's saying?
And
Like,
I just want to real quick let everyone know everyone is entitled to voice their opinion respectfully. This is to Angela Jefferson just coming in, says, you said what? First off, he don't owe nobody anything. We don't know what goes on and off this internet. He said that people wouldn't understand what he was saying, and he was right. People who know what he was saying know. But I have to say this, Angela, okay? First of all, sis, they brought this to the internet, not us, okay? Second of all, if you're going to come with receipts and you're going to make a big deal in a presentation, go above and beyond to say you're going to clear the air, then that is your job and duty to make sure that those people understand. Don't get up talking gibberish or speaking Spanish when clearly everyone is speaking English. You have to, if you're going to say you're going to do something, you're going to clear the air, then make sure you clearing all the smoke up out the air. Don't come up there talking in this language, talking in that language, and doing this and doing that. And then your excuse is, but you guys not an Israelite, so you would not understand. That does not make sense. Mr. Woken Israelite, it is your place to make sure we understand. Since you're saying we're doing the wrong language, we're doing the wrong religion. We don't practice your religion, your belief, and what you choose to walk in your faith. And you want us to be woke. You're trying to tell us that we're doing everything wrong. It is your job as one of our woken brothers to make sure you bring clarity to the situation at hand, especially when it comes to your children. You are speaking on something that is very serious. It has been some very serious accusations on top of text messages and things
Absolutely.
that have been out here in regards to your children, as well as their safety. So when you say you're going to clear something up, that is your job to come to a understanding of the people so that they know exactly what's going on, if that's what you intended to do, if that's what you planned on doing in reality. And there's no excuse for him to sit up and say, because we're not a woke Israelite, we just not going to understand it. So we could just ignore it. We could just brush over it because we're not what he is. We don't have the same faith as him. We don't understand
Absolutely.
English. We
And Miss
all
Steph, and
clearly have an understanding and an insight on right and wrong. We all clearly can read and write. We know what to say and what not to say. We know as adults how to be a parent. So I don't understand what's so hard and simple when it comes to answering questions, when it comes to clearing the air and stating what is necessary to bring clarity to not only your ex, but your children's safety. What is there not to understand? There's no in between. There's no scriptures. There's no getting up there with your Israelite brother and continuing to put videos up to justify certain things. If it was real and you called yourself clearing the air, as a you and I and these three ladies on this panel is talking straight through, no chaser, what else is there for you to do? You don't have to have a video to have people understand what you're trying to say, bro. It don't take all of that. Get up there, answer the questions, and say what you have to say. You don't have to be just an Israelite when you're speaking. Get up here like a father and speak. Get up here like a human being. Get up there like somebody that loved their children. And you're going to answer questions like you claim to do so. So there's no excuse for that. Angie, can you read the comments? Start from tit for tat and go down, boo. And then
Tiffany says, keep it respectful in the chat. We can agree to disagree without disrespect or be timed out. Amelia says, hey, Ashley and Angie and lady on panel. Hey, chat. Hey, Amelia. And
hey, Amelia, boo.
And Candace says, Brianna said he was a deadbeat, abusive, and everything else. Yes, why bring up the adoption about the kids and come at Robert when Brianna is the one who asked LaTruth to adopt them? Exactly. You're taking the problem onto everybody else except for the two parents. You guys are the parents. It's nobody's fault but you guys. It's nobody's you guys have to communicate. You guys have to take accountability for the things that you guys are doing that is effective to your children, whether it be good or bad. It's nobody else's problem except for you guys. There's people around who may take on and add addition to helping and contributing to your children's lives, but the initial people who need to be accountable for these children are the very ones who brought life into them. And
Brought
that's
them into
it.
this
absolutely.
world. And how
And
dare you
Absolutely.
do that? Okay,
right.
read the last one,
It was the
Angie.
same one. Yeah, why bring it up? Why bring it up? Like, she's the one that wanted him to do it. And LaTruth said no. Okay, so even if you disagree with him saying no, even according to the Bible or whatever religious practice, even if he said no, how is it that you are going to badger him about his belief or him saying no? He has a choice. He has his own mind. He didn't want to do it. For her to be offended, it wasn't in representation of respect or understanding where he may be coming from or even considering his own beliefs. Like, no. So when it comes, like the Israelite, when you want to speak of these things, you're doing it from a selfish place. You have to understand that the world is bigger than you and your religious practice, and everybody has the option and choice. And if he decides not to, it's not for you to take offense, because ultimately the decision of these children's lives is yours. They're your children.
Exactly. And
Absolutely.
Truth Slayer, how do you feel about the fact that he was okay with discussing adoption? I would have been offended as a father and a parent for the mother of my children to ask another man to take on such a big responsibility, when if I was doing something wrong as the father, she wouldn't just come to me and say, hey, the kids don't see you enough. Hey, our sons need to bond with their father a little more. Or our daughter, she's getting at that age where she's having crush on boys. It's time for you to have that talk with her. None of these things should have been offensive to you. I mean, that should have been offensive to you. And that should have been a first initial conversation that you had with her. Because obviously she felt like you were lacking when it came to something for her to feel comfortable enough to ask him that. And now you bring that up on the live today, and you want to bring that on LaTruth. You want to blame him. That is sick and twisted. And I can't believe that everybody is okay with that. Well, some people. And then we make an excuse and we put a sticky note over it or a bandage, and he say, hey, but you guys not going to understand this because we're not Israelites. No, that's not no excuse for your BS. That's not no excuse for your whole whack live today that did not make any sense, where you did not hold yourself accountable, where you did not really answer questions, where you played a couple slideshows because you couldn't speak through a whole live like a man. You couldn't say what you were supposed to say. You wrote a whole post the day before claiming you were going to clear the air. You have some receipts to only troll people to get them over there. Was your money low? Were you trying to make some YouTube money real quick? So Facebook money real quick. So what was the meaning and the point of you even speaking out a year later? And then when you spoke, it's like you whispered because nothing really came out or made sense.
Absolutely. Um, what did you ask me? Oh, I'm sorry. You asked me about,
I
yes.
know. I'm sorry. I'm kind of
No, no,
all
no.
over the
You had
place.
to get it out. You had to get it out. No, you were asking me about the adoption. And I believe that because I don't believe that she asked him out of any concern about the nurturing and development of the children, and what was best for them in that regard. She was securing a bag.
Okay.
And so that's why the notion of, why don't I, I mean, I've never heard either one of them say, well, yeah, we had a whole conversation about it, and I was okay with it, or like, there's no context that's been shared. So when you make a whole hour live and you don't give any context, people are still left with these questions and having conversation about it because you didn't solve that. But um so I think that was her perspective, and as a result, there was no need to confer with him or anything. If he was being supportive the way that they both claim, it should have really been a issue for him that she would ask this man to adopt the children, if he were in fact, especially if he were spending the time and giving the support monetarily and everything like that. Because then I would be blindsided, like, wait, what? Adopt the kids? Like, okay, I know he's their stepfather, but adopt them? Heck nah. So like, she didn't even feel like she had to even consort with you about it. So that's
Exactly.
crazy, So it's like, okay, so that's why we draw these reasonable conclusions, and then people come in here um, Miss Jefferson, which I had to get myself together behind that comment, because when you come into a chat and say first, anytime somebody say to me first off, I'm like, oh, okay, you got a list for me.
Yeah, and
You
an
got a
attitude.
you got a list of shit to say. Okay, wait a minute. So I had to calm down from that. But she was saying that he don't owe anybody anything. Okay, well, was there a petition? Did I miss the petition
He
that
chose to volunteer to say
to
all these
come on
things.
here and say he was gonna say something? I
He
mean, I
doesn't
don't. I
owe us anything. But when you decide to speak out, clearly you owe us an explanation. When you decide to volunteer one, it is one owed after that. Angie, can
mm-hmm.
you read the comments before they fall behind real quick?
Yes. It says, oh Lord, I done fell by my high. Tite says, no way in hell I am able-bodied person. Would I let anyone adopt my children where they do that at? Exactly. And Candace says, very sick and twisted facts. Tiffany says, if Robert would have adopted her 3 children, she can get him for child support for them as well. Exactly. He had to think about himself too. Like that
And
That's
wasn't
then
why
even
he brought
secure in
it
fair.
the
up.
bag.
He brought that up so quick. He said, "You're not about to take my money," because she knew, just like, and we just keeping it real today on the panel. I'm sorry, but that's what we're doing. We're not trying to backtrack. It's not any bashing. Everybody is free to voice their opinion respectfully from both sides. I even dropped the earlier at the top. If you stroll up, I've dropped the stream. Everyone can come up here and say what they feel. Like I said, respectfully. At the end of the day, we all know she chose to have another child, and we all could clearly feel or sense the reasoning behind that. So
Mm-hmm.
when you have responsibility on top of responsibility, we meet you when you're saying that the father is not in the picture of the children. He's not there. He's not in support of doing the things he's supposed to do. On top of that, you claim he did not protect the safety of the children. Okay. Then when we finally get introduced to the father, it's when the husband is no longer in the picture years later. So who's been taking care of the kids all this time? And everyone wanted to paint the picture to us and say that you've been holding it down on your own all this time, when we could have went back to pictures and showed the before and after you. The before when you first met LaTrue, before the you with the 3 degrees, the before you when you worked at Best Buy looks completely different from the now you. Let's keep it a buck, okay?
Exactly.
And
Mm-hmm.
that was from the blessings of you being with someone that already was on their way, that already was pursuing their dreams. And it even shows through the creativity of both of you two platforms. Yes, you have a large platform due to women, due to the audience and the nature of how you arrived and presented the situation during the divorce proceedings in the beginning of the breakup. But at the end of the day, the creativity speaks for itself. Mr. LaTruth can be sitting in the car having a normal conversation and something will resonate with you, or it's always a positive message. From him to Kevin, it's always something with
Right.
this family that has been blessed with these platforms, whether it's something funny or a silly skit, whether it's big twist. The talent speaks for itself. And he blessed you with the opportunity to work from home. And you acknowledge that very early on in the beginning, how happy you were to be with someone that was a father figure as well to your children. We saw the difference in the way your children looked. We saw when Mr. LaTruth was up in the morning while you probably was sleeping, when the children had on matching pajamas, their hair was combed, and he was teaching them how to cook. We saw throughout the marriage different skits, even just different scenes where he was teaching them things. They were learning things. He was being a father figure to those girls, to those boys. We acknowledge that. And it just hurts. And it's sad to say, when you got mad at him about one thing, it turned into he was terrible about everything. And you wanted to erase everything that we already saw. You wanted to erase everything that he's done for you. You have been on interviews time after time again saying it was days when you didn't even want to post. It was times when you laid in bed and he kept pushing you, or he would do it for you. It was even times when he did the giveaways for you, for the single parents for Christmas. He did all those things. And for you to not acknowledge that in a moment of anger and just take away all that, I just feel like it's BS. And then your child's
Right.
father come on today and has absolutely nothing to say to back up anything he's saying. To be honest, he seems like he has something wrong with him. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. And it's like we can't sit up and say, oh, he's a religious freak and he's stuck in his ways, this and that. Like Truth Slayer said, if you a grown man and you have to ask someone else, or I think it was Angie, one of you, for permission to speak how you feel, you know, like that's your God, that's your parent, you can always say how you feel respectfully. We didn't expect you to come on here and go in on the truth or anyone. You said you had receipts. So your
But you know,
receipts
but
in
actually,
video.
you know, I think the receipts was supposed to be the scripture.
Ah,
That was the receipt for him. It was like, no, I got some receipts for you. In the Bible, it say this. I know in the world y'all do something else, but the receipt is biblically.
Wow.
that makes
I
sense.
don't know what y'all think about that possibility, because I didn't see him pull up nothing or make any reference to anything outside of what he had already presented as far as supporting, you know, documentation or anything. So it must have been the actual scriptures.
Big Cheese. Shout out to Big Cheese in the building. Big Cheese said,
Hey, Big Cheese.
what's up,
What's
Ashley
up?
D? Panel in chat. Special shout out to my boo Angie. Yes, it's love. It's love. Said shout
He
out to
said,
Truth
is that
Slayers.
you? Yes, that's
Truth
me, honey. What you
Yes.
thought it
Thank
was? No, just play.
right. What's up, Big Cheese? We got that link at the top if you want to drop in, say a few words on this Mr. Israelite laying it down today. As Truth Slayer say, the receipts was the freaking scriptures, I guess. Candace said, he said she kept bringing up different men to adopt other women children. He said no, she was mad and sleeping Israelite, take it out on Robert. I ain't never seen no like this in my life, girl. Yes. Ooh, shout out to brother B Bennett in the building. What it do, Mr. Wise Man? Thanks for coming in. We appreciate you as well, brother. If you
Thank
don't
you, Big
know,
Cheese. Thank you, Tit for Tat. I'm sorry.
no, you okay, sis.
No, they was
This
just being saying kind things to me, so I was saying thank you.
aw, yeah. If you don't know V Bennett as well, or Big Cheese, they both are content creators as well as my mod, Tit for Tat. Please subscribe to my people. They definitely do amazing content. Appreciate you all for coming in.
Also,
Yep.
I wanted to say, I wanted to laugh about the fact that he brung the Bible as his receipts. That is so funny. But you
Wait,
know
what
what? The
day?
thing,
Hey, Sunshine. Hey, Boo.
shout out to
Okay.
the Queen. what
Okay, I'm
the
sorry, sis.
what people fail to understand is there is a Bible quote for every last one of us. If
Yeah,
you if you're going to continue to use the Bible as a reason or an excuse to point out the flaws in someone else, I really hope that you're using those Bible quotes to hold yourself accountable, because there's Bible quotes in there.
there you go.
You get what I'm saying? I
Yep.
think that is very unfair. It's very selfish. It's hypocritical. And that's what causes a lot of conflict within the people's mind as far as their understanding of themselves and how they feel about themselves, how they go about life, and actually the true understanding with the Almighty. You're causing people to run away from even getting to know the creator or the higher power in a better understanding for themselves, because you are so quick to shoot them down with Bible verses that you feel back your opinions about them. That's
And that's
wrong.
the thing, Angie. When you have a certain religion and belief and you claim we doing it wrong, not only were you supposed to get up there and explain to us a little bit more about your religion and your beliefs, so maybe we can be enlightened. Maybe we want to get to know a little bit more about it and cross over. Maybe you understand what I'm saying? If you believe something so firm and you have a platform and you're teaching on it daily and you're saying we have it wrong, it is your job as a mentor, as a teacher, to not only today should have been that day where you explained a little bit about yourself. You gave us a little insight on your belief, what you feel, what you believe, and what we might be doing wrong. So not only
Right.
our mind is open to understanding why you believe what you do, so now we could get a clear understanding of the way you think, your concept, and the way you view things. But you did
Right.
not do that. You did not deliver anything.
And Candace says that's what he said. He said she wanted to do it for stability because he was talking about a divorce at the same time. And he said she kept bringing up different men who adopted other women, children. He said no, she got mad and sleeping Israelite took it out on Robert. I ain't never seen no ish like this in my life. I swear.
Yeah,
Everybody has their
Mhm.
everybody has an intent or motive, and everybody as an individual has a right to respond or move according to how they perceive it, right? But
right.
if you're causing an effect on my life, I have every right to make sure that I am safe above all things, and that I cross my t's and I dot my i's. I'm coming in as a stepfather. Everybody knows that a step means a replacement or a substitute. That doesn't necessarily mean
Mhm.
that even
It's
though
an
I
extra. It's like
And
even
an
look,
though
extra fill in.
that step, it's an elevation from the foundation. The foundation is you, brother. That's your DNA.
right.
A
Right.
step
Even
is
though
the
I
next
love
level.
them as if I am theirs, as if they're mine, that doesn't take away your responsibility. It's supposed to be the more the merrier. It's not supposed to be, oh, it's on you, brother. Have fun. What?
Right.
And that's exactly the way he took it. And then he's using his religion, his beliefs, and trying to justify the wrongdoing of Mr. LaTrue for not adopting his kids. You can't make this stuff up. What is wrong with this man? After that, if I was interested in his belief in the way of his thinking, I would have immediately said, no, this is not right. Just morally. How can you be
Right.
okay with trying to write off your responsibilities on another man because he's a stepfather? That's just an extra hand in raising and supporting you and your ex children. That's all it is. Just an extra hand. It's not a replacement.
Hmm.
It's like when you're playing basketball and the main player gets hurt or something, they feel it for that moment. Because yes, we all know that 99% of the time is going to be spent with your kids in the household. We understand that. But you are the one as the father have to instill the morals, have to instill the confidence in those boys, have to instill that love and protection into your daughter. That comes from you, Mr.
It's as
LaTrue.
Yeah.
if it's
Anything
as,
else is just extra.
it's as if they're treating Robert as if if he's supposed to clean up everybody's mess that they made beforehand. And if he doesn't, he's wrong.
But he's a
Like, what are
clown and
you?
he's corny and he's all these things.
Right.
You know, how you expect a clown to feed the whole world, to feed the whole
Right.
saga?
Right. Like, come on, what are we doing here? Like, that doesn't make any sense. You were supposed to take care of my responsibility. Brum, 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 brum. You're wrong. Like, come on.
You got a
And
comment,
they
Angie.
NXS, shout out for coming through the building.
Shout out.
NXS says, if never seen a, I've never seen a man not wanting to get to know the man who will be around, not just his kids, but his daughter, knowing the mother makes bad decisions. There you have it.
Woo.
Regardless of what decisions that the mother makes, it's two parties. It's the father,
But
it's
you
the
know,
daughter. You're
I think
supposed to,
Bree deliberately kept them apart or kept them, like Ham said, she always pit one against the other. So he probably had the impression that the truth, didn't like him, got a problem with him, and vice versa. And she
Mhm.
ran that interference, real strong. Because, like you say, you in the house with my kids, we should be having one-on-one conversations at any given time.
but
If
not only
we're
that,
amiable.
But not only that, um, it from what he's been speaking on even today, he has the mindset to me that he didn't even want to be around them. We can't pin it all on Brianna because his description of what he felt like Robert was wrong about says a lot about how he feels or his insight towards his own children.
And this is the thing too. Regardless of what he felt like, at the end of the day, just like Truth Slayer said, this man should have had a conversation and a sit down with this man being around your kids a majority of the time. You should put aside what you feel. Just like any real parent in a situation that's going into your ex now, taking on a spouse, marrying, moving on. You want to get to know that person, and whether you like them or don't agree with certain things about them, you're going to come to a common ground because you're going to be worried about your kids' safety first and foremost. That's going to be on your mind. So I'm not going to act funny with this person. I would be afraid that they might take that out on my children. So whatever I'm feeling personally, I will not allow that to interfere with me getting to know this person. And that's a big
That
fact. And
that
young,
video was I'm sorry, I keep interrupting y'all.
no, you're okay. We good. We
I be
interrupted
getting
each other.
excited and then my mouth started going. I was just gonna
You
say
okay?
that video receipt of when the saga first hit, and she was in the car with the kids, and she had her second oldest son verify that he be not banging on the door, and she be screaming and crying and all of this stuff. Okay, so you didn't go get your kids then, neither, up out of that house, because this young man is telling you in the world that yes, we be at the door crying, and they be in there fighting.
Mm.
So it's okay because Spirit of Rod spoiled the child, and you over there, you took her, so now you got all of them, and you just gonna sit back and watch this happen. If that's what you're doing, then just say that. Just say she's over. I trust her judgment, whatever she got going on over there. You know what I'm saying? I do communicate on the back end with her. I'm not entertaining nothing that y'all saying online because y'all know what's really going on. But don't come on here to make a whole case and not explain your absence, and
Right,
like the Miss Jefferson was trying to say, he don't owe nobody nothing. Well, then don't say nothing.
right.
You
Thank
know.
you.
So
Period.
that's
Don't
all.
point out. Shout out to everyone coming in. Young Hebrew. Shout out my brother. Um, at the end of the day, everything that was brought online, you guys did that. Your ex did it, and then you decided to come and explain more. So that's all on both of you. Do not take it on us how we receive the information that you both put out. Like
Yeah,
Truth Slayer said, at the end of the day, you decided to say what you said and then come back and turn around and say, but you don't owe us anything. Make it
yeah,
make sense.
This
You
this is what
do.
I think he was ultimately doing, right? He he made a statement for him and Bree at the same time. Again, it's Latruth's fault because the Bible say he should have adopted them, and he'd won wrong for not feeling like he was supposed to when it's biblical. So what he was doing was trying to again save face about Bree's decision making. Like she's not over there stupid. She know what she's doing. And anyway, biblically, this would be why I'm not upset about anything because he should have adopted them. And if my son was over there getting out of line, then the man in the house, who's biblically the husband, has the right to punch him in his chest, allegedly. Then all this is biblical. So he was covering himself for not intervening by citing scripture.
He was
That was
covering
that
himself for being a coward.
and it was also covering for her, saying that she's not doing anything wrong because technically she's biblically allowing the husband to be who he's supposed to be in the household, and she's her decision making isn't poor by having this particular person be the one that's doing it. Like, so he covered both of them to me in that live at most. I mean, I don't
right,
think he indicted LaTruth in any way because you just couldn't. I mean, this man clearly, you see the receipts. Every picture of them kids was hair was combed and cut, and everybody was matching and smiling, and they going on with their life. I mean, there was no lack.
And that's the thing about this whole situation from both of these two parents. Nobody has taken accountability for their faults. Everybody has turned around and put the blame game on LaTruth. When in reality, LaTruth has made both of their lives a little bit more better, some a lot better. And not to mention your children. Safety should be the most important thing to you. And for you to sit up there and quote scriptures of a man, you want to say that you give her the authority to make all rank decisions when it comes to your kids, and you trust that? When people online, it's like we see someone that's drinking and driving, okay? We see it, we're watching it, and we're saying, oh my gosh, don't do it, don't do it. But you're saying, oh, she's done this many a time, she knows what she's doing. If hundreds of people are watching this play out, and you have free range to just call this person and say, hey, don't do this, don't do that, but you chose to turn a blind eye and then throw some scriptures out there and make excuses for both of you guys. Lack of accountability, lack of parenting, lack of responsibility, and then some type of way tie it into the truth. That's some BS.
And lack of engagement with what's going on. Just because, and I think that's, to me, my opinion, where Bree be getting it wrong. Just because you are providing a roof, clothes, and food to these children, your job is not over.
This
You know
man,
what I'm saying? And I think that's what it is for him. They good, you know what I'm saying? They over there eating, they got a roof, they got clothes, they good.
and that's what's sad, because this man is considered a father, okay? A father is supposed to be a protector. You trying to justify this man who is not the father, who is still a kid, who is still immature. We've all seen that online. You saw the leaked text messages as well, and none of that sparked a concern in you whatsoever to even get up off your sofa, make a phone call, try to get custody of your children. You didn't have to get permanent custody. You could have got it for the moment until she figured it out. Because in that moment, we all saw that she was not in her mind enough to make responsible decisions. When she was in the middle of going through what she was going through publicly with LaTruth online, and decided to date another guy that she did not do a background check in. She found it offensive when Mr. LaTruth asked for one, instead of thinking that was the most responsible thing. Not only his daughter is there, but nowadays you can't trust men around young little boys as well either.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
she thought he was being funny towards her. So that goes to show you her mind frame, or we can say what she was thinking in that moment was very immature, not responsible. But she allowed this total stranger to come into her home and around her children. And you
I
think
mean,
that,
yeah.
no, go
Yeah.
ahead, baby.
No, I cringe when you said that, because I'm like, she's the one that told us that he drinks and does allegedly does mushrooms. So
Mhm.
if that's true, then why is this little girl sitting in his lap? Why is, on top of, just in general, why is she riding on his shoulders? Why is she hugging him when he ain't got no shirt on? Like,
Why is she
things.
walking past the camera without a shirt on, and she's first meeting him? The first month of this relationship, he's having access to your children like that. And anybody knows that a predator, he pays attention to the parenting skills or the lack of.
Yes.
He's watching you engage online 99% of the time. He's watching your kids go off and do whatever they're doing to their own devices without you monitoring things. He's watching you go to sleep at this time, do what you do, so they can become a prey easy, just paying attention to your behaviors. And you gave this man, who you do not know, you did not do a background check on, you did not date him first, but you decided to move him in. And
And
you
let's be
trust.
clear that we're not implying in any way that that Himzel did anything to the children, or that, there was some,
Yep,
we're not implying that at all. We're just saying the optics are this.
exactly. And we're breaking this down due to the sleeping Israelite decided to come online today and try to put some scriptures out there, put a video out there, take lack of accountability, responsibility as a father, as a protector, and also make excuses for the things that like Anya did that were mistakes and red flags in the beginning that we all pointed out. And I am not trying to bash nor these ladies whatsoever, but we're going to keep it real today. He brought it up, he started it, and we're just finishing it. NXA said, and if he was involved, why did RH know he was providing for those kids for 6 whole years? Being around and being involved are two different things. Fact.
Exactly.
So if he was involved, why did RH know he was providing for those kids for 6 whole years? And being around and being involved are two different things. And that's what we saw lack thereof.
Yeah, well, she couldn't tell him because he was so jealous and insecure that she couldn't tell him she was getting support from the kid's father. That's the storyline.
And what else did she say about Robert as well? She said he was jealous too, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. She told, he previously said, Israelite, that, you know, he just don't know. I've always supported my kids, but he just don't know because he was so insecure that she couldn't tell him I was doing this and doing that because he would get upset. I'm sure he would have accepted and welcomed any help that you were sending over there, sir, for 3 children. I'm sure
3
he would have
children, not one.
and still would have done what he was doing, but he would have appreciated knowing that he had support in the well-being of those kids by their actual father. Come on now.
So because he didn't know, or because you're stating that you did this, and with the acknowledgement that Robert had no understanding of this, he was unaware, regardless to what the reason was told. Why don't you have enough grace to understand that he did not know? It's not like he came up here and talked bad about you.
Thank you. Right. Okay, what's the next comment say, Angie, so we don't fall behind?
Lord, was Robert wrong for not adopting the kids? Lord Jesus, go ahead.
Right. He says, Tit for Tat says, so he was cool with his children being with someone who abused his children's mother and also told her to work it out with her abuser. Exactly. You told her to work it out with him and didn't even consider the fact that your children was in a toxic environment. Like, what type of father are you again?
A sleeping Israelite. Clearly. You're going to encourage her to work it out instead of encouraging her to figure it out. Instead of encouraging her to spend time with the children alone, get to know herself all over again. Because clearly, when you experience not only the loss of someone that you're close to, but going through a divorce so publicly as well as privately, that can be very devastating. That can be very hard to deal with. And now you're on your own once again, and you're trying to find yourself and figure out who you are as an individual, because you were in this relationship. You was as two. It was a partnership. And for you not to suggest her to do that, and you suggest her to work it out with this man, to be honest, I think that you wanted her to work it out. So she was okay, happy, and you felt as though she might not been in your business, might have not been picking with you. You know, when she's in a relationship, she's at her best. When she has extra time on her hand, that responsibility will lie on you. So that's what I feel like. You're convincing her.
It was a distraction to keep the attention off of him.
Mm-hmm. Yep, facts. And nothing about Robert says insecure. Exactly. Nothing whatsoever. And that's the picture she painted about her first ex. She said he was insecure, right?
Right.
All the things she says, she winds up with all these insecure men. So then the child's father has the nerve to sit up here and think that it's okay for some other man to put their hands on your kids. That is not the stepdad. That has not been around for a long time. Someone that you do not know. You think she's making okay decisions with the things that she's doing when we're all seeing it and we all have a problem, and you telling us to mind our business, but she puts us in her business. Make it make
Right.
sense,
Well,
sir.
and remember that, again, if it's not like he said, listen, y'all don't know what be going on behind the scenes. I have had a number of conversations with Robert Hampton, or I've had a number of conversations. I met Jonelle. He has my permission to discipline my kids. I know him. We have a rapport, or I feel this way towards him. So I trust, like, that's the level of accountability that you should come for. Anything less than that is really like womp womp. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay,
Yeah,
I know y'all may not agree with it, but my Bible tells me that because he is the man of the household, he does have that authority. And I've actually met him, and we've discussed and we agree in all of this. So whatever happened over there happened over there. And y'all just don't know that. Like, to me, shut me up like that.
exactly. And I do
You
have
know?
to go back to NXS. That was funny when she came out and she said that the whole time she had to hide it. That this man was being like Robert not gonna know where the kids going. Where they going on spring
Mm-hmm.
break? Where they going on the weekends? Like you're not coming
Mm-hmm.
to him, or he don't know what's going out of the bank account when you're doing school clothes shopping, when you're doing summer shopping, when the kids going to get their hair done, when he's taking the boys to get their hair cut. Come on now, make it make sense. He's doing all these things for you on a hush because Robert is so insecure about these kids when he first met them, calling him father right away. And you were okay with that, sleeping Israelite. We saw the video. The first time when these kids were introduced to this man, they said dad. And we also saw when you guys pranked Jonelle with spray painting a car and he went after the young son in a joking way. And he said, no, dad, no, dad. How are you comfortable if you were such a father figure in their life with a man that's not even the title of the father being allowed to call your kids call him father? That one make you cringe. That one
I
make
mean,
you
and they was
upset.
just calling somebody else father. So how many fathers are you okay with them having?
Thank you. Not even a stepdad. They could call him Mr. Young or whatever
Mm-hmm.
little nickname in a respectful way where they're not disrespecting him, but at the same time acknowledging him as a father. When the trash is overflowing in the house, when he's not holding up to any type of father figure or duties that he's supposed to do, when he's jokingly silly all the time with the kids, when the daughter even says he's very immature. So there's no father figure in this home that is showing these kids what they need. No one is doing that. No teaching is going on. When the only time we saw him being serious when he put his content out, when he focused on things containing to his career, that's when we saw Mr. Young at his best. But whenever it came to Brianna and her content and the image she tried to present to us, it was always something joking, disrespectful, embarrassing, demeaning, and it wasn't in
Mm-hmm.
her best favor. He did not
Right.
care about how he made her look.
Right. Because no matter what ever happened that behind closed doors, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to drop down in it shortly. But
Okay.
what behind closed doors is, you know, we going by what we actually do see, right? And if
Right.
if this type of thing was going on from the beginning, and all of this, the way to fix something is not to light a match underneath it. And I just feel like, it's so hard to stop talking about this story. I know for me, because I'm still waiting for that big one to happen where everything turns around for her, you know.
Mhm.
And some people comment and they're like, well, how you expected to turn around for her, and y'all keep talking about her. You can't stop people from talking, and the strength is in doing it despite if they talking or not, right? Because
Yeah.
you
Right.
can't control that part. You can only control what you're doing. So,
Right.
I like I've said, I have a lot of strong opinions about Bree, and how she moved. But I do ultimately want what's best for her and for those children, and redirecting her energy to getting her back in a productive way, a way she can be proud of, a way that she can show her children without tainting them about, long as you get to it, it's okay. That's not the example you want to set, that, like they say, all money ain't good money and stuff like that. You want them to know that, so that they don't fall prey to schemes and scams and things just for the sake of the money, because you haven't taught them how to do any, thing other than, or demonstrated that there's other ways to get to it than to drag somebody, to make up a story, to create drama and chaos just so that you can get likes and views. I mean, so that's really what I would love to see from her. And I know she don't care what I think or any of that, but to me, this is like talking about somebody on like a TV show, and we sitting up just like Love and Hip Hop and everything else
Yeah,
supposed to be reality. We reviewing a show. She says she's a
absolutely.
content creator. We reviewing your content, you know. So
Absolutely. And once you put it out there, it's okay after that for people to have an opinion, whether it's to agree with you or disagree with you, and
right,
Right.
because
like,
I don't go on her page with it. I don't go troll
Right.
her or nobody that agrees with her. So that's why I
Right.
feel okay.
Yes, you're right. You are right.
Yeah.
These
and
people are nuts on the internet.
Comment where I agree. I comment where I agree. I get with the people who
Right.
think like me and do high fives and shit like that.
That's
yeah,
right. Cause sooner and then you got to be careful sometimes, because soon as you might have a disagreement or a small piece of difference, some people just take it so strongly offensively, and it's like, whoa. So, I
yeah,
wouldn't
we
type in
can find
Brianna's
it
chat. I wouldn't type in Brianna's chat for nothing, because they said she was blocking people right off the bat in the beginning, like just block, 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 block.
Yeah, if she see your comment, she's blocking it.
and
Yep.
you
Forget
definitely have
what I'm
to have
saying.
tough skin. You have to have tough
Yeah, like
skin.
she don't keep, like, if she talking about skincare and how wonderful the exfoliator is. She see a comment, she stop right in the middle of her pitch and address it
Block.
or block it or whatever. Like, can you come back after you're done with your commercial and go back through and clean it up?
Right. And that's
Tit
what
for
people
That's
tat.
all I'm
don't
asking.
realize.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm asking.
Right.
You have to
Right.
have some sense of professionalism, especially when it comes to your craft. And you guys have to always keep this in mind. If you don't work hard for it and it's given to you, it's not the same. She was
Yep.
basically given a platform. You understand what I'm saying? She didn't have to. That's the difference between her and Robert. When people say why he doesn't respond and why he does this, why he keep going, that man has some tough skin. That whole family
Yes,
does.
he
Shout out
does.
to the men over there. Um, when you work for something, you cannot absolutely respond to every single thing that someone has to say about you. You have to let that bounce off, because any
Mm-hmm.
type of sudden move can ruin you, can ruin what you worked for. So you
Right.
can't, you have family, you have bills, you have responsibilities. This is your livelihood at stake. So every
Mm-hmm.
now and then you're responding to clear it up. You're not
Right.
necessarily responding to agree to the drama, but you're responding in a sense because it's your responsibility to your supporters, the people that are listening, the people that are just coming in, the people that may not know but want to know. You're letting them know and you're putting that response out there. But her, on
Mm-hmm.
the other hand, she did not work for this. So she cannot take constructive criticism. This was something that was not her gift, her passion. This is not her baby. So she doesn't feel as though she has to protect it like
Mm-hmm.
LaTruth had to. So she can come online and do whatever, at the end of the day, because think about it. A lot of things she would have did differently had this been her platform she built. There's no way she
Right.
would have came out here in a sense with the relationship, with the children, with the skincare, everything she did, it would have been more professional and it would have been thought out.
Yep.
Because had she not had the bees, standing 10 toes down for her and battling, to be honest, a lot more things would have gotten out and she could have been taken down in so many different ways. But we didn't come here, a lot of us, to take her down. We came here to stand up for the truth. And we pointed out some things and flaws about her that she needed to work on. We all kind of went back and forth to agree to disagree. But at the end of the day, if it's for you, it's going to happen. No matter what, no matter who tries to come against you, if that's your passion, that's your gift, you fighting for it, and the universe decides for you to have it, it's going to happen. Nobody can take that from you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why Mr. LaTruth will continue to stand, and I do wish the best for her. I hope she does
Mm-hmm.
find herself. I hope that she does put her kids first and realize that they're not going to be there forever. And every decision she makes is a reflection of who her kids will turn out to be.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just about you, your relationship, and what makes you happy when you bring someone home to meet your children. It's about them. It's about a positive role model. It's about what can this person offer to not just you, but your children.
Right.
Okay, Angie, you have comments, boo. I'm sorry.
Tip for tat says if RH didn't put his hands on the children and he was the husband, how can an outsider feel comfortable enough to do it? Why would RH feel some type of way of a man taking care of his children?
Right.
Mm.
Yeah,
Because
fact.
I think he would have just still did whatever he wanted. I don't think it would have replaced anything. You know, if he was doing forums, okay, well then I ain't gonna. If it's 4th of July and nah, he can buy the outfits. I think he would just go get them himself, like he did ultimately. I don't think it would be a point of contention
And think about
that
this.
he was
If
taking
they're
care of them.
exactly, and think about this, okay? When the son birthday came up and he's so okay with this relationship, why didn't you take the time of day to come drive down with your wife, your family, if everything is all peachy and perfect, and you guys have a party for your son at the beautiful home that Brianna has? Why we couldn't see things like that? Why we couldn't see couples interacting with each other? Why we couldn't see you and your wife and Brianna and it? I mean, I don't even want to call him Mr. Ed no more. And Jonelle interacting together as though everything
Yeah,
is peaceful like you claim for it to be. Your son had a whole birthday party at the house. Brianna chilling, doing a card game on him, and you did not show up. You was not there. You sent the box, and that was that. So don't try to paint a picture to us and tell us things is one way when clearly you show us otherwise. Always remember, actions speak louder than words. Okay, you got some more comments. I'm sorry, Angie.
We got brother Heru. He said, "Yep, aka Young Heru." Um, that's that's why they do. That's what they doing to me now. Okay, Heru, you better stop being in trouble. Getting blocked
that's
out
what
them
who doing.
comments. Getting blocked out them comments, and
Oh,
then he said, "Thank you, Ashley. We can see eye to eye, my girl."
All the time, hey Rue, my boy. Yep,
I love it, y'all. It's been amazing.
absolutely.
yeah. So it's a little different rendering than what I was anticipating this morning, but it was still out there and something to just kind of analyze like we normally do. Um,
Claire, I anticipated it. I ain't even gonna stunt with you. Cause the last one video he made and everybody remember everybody swarmed over to his channel. And guess
Yep.
what he was talking about? The
what?
Bible. The Bible.
I
I said,
remember
you know what?
I've never watched him before or nothing, so I didn't know what be going on
to
his
expect.
page. Okay.
I thought he was gonna do something different this time, but something in me was like, he gonna do that same move he did that time, all the way in the beginning. The Bible. He did Bible study on us.
Right. Facts. And it's one thing if you want people to get to know your religion, explain that to them, let them know, but that's not a way to woo and wow them over there and have them start following into your beliefs. You have to understand that everybody has their own opinion and we all have our own eyes. We see things differently. And at the end of the day, you taking no accountability for your part as a father. You're not saying what you could have done differently or better, but you decide to blame everything on Robert. You decide to speak up for Brianna, which I understand you want to back her up. You know, you're on the payroll. Let's just keep it real. Maybe child support lowered or whatever the case is. You guys have going on behind the scenes. But today, you did not approve anything. It was a waste of people time. I want to apologize to my sis Truth Slayer for even having to keep clicking on and off to your BS today, because I told Angie, to be honest, Truth Slayer, I said, I don't even know if this the video. I'm watching it, but it's showing something else. I was like,
Yeah,
I
I
don't think this is
remember.
it. And it bothered me. Like, my attention span is just sometimes a little short when it comes to if you're not getting to the point or it's not
Yeah.
directly what it is. And so you kind of sent us on a scavenger hunt, bro,
Yeah,
for
that's why I was going in
information.
and out because I'm like, what is he talking about? Then I would go, then I would come back like, okay, maybe was it clickbait? Then I go back and check. So that's exactly why I was in and out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then Candace said it was an old video. So you did clickbait us, bro. And so it makes me think you can't even form your own opinion to come forward and have a normal, decent conversation. You can't take constructive criticism. You couldn't take comments asking you questions. You know, you
Wait a
didn't want.
minute, she's saying that it wasn't live, it was old.
Yeah, that's what she said. Is that what she was trying to say, Angie? I think. I'm trying to let
Which
me.
No, he was
who took
live this
say?
morning.
Oh, okay. Let me
So he
see.
was live this morning. But
Yeah, no, I don't think it was old.
Oh, she said that video come out months ago. He had
Hmm.
to say it's proof. Um, okay. So she said it was live, you guys. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, that's
I mean,
anybody.
unless it was he live and then he was streaming the video,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, I mean,
Hmm.
I just know that live button was on and lit up. But so let me just digress on that then. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, True Slayer. That could be a different way
Hmm.
to look at it.
I mean, I don't
Um,
know because I kept saying he's strongly ignoring all these comments, but people were commenting in real time, so that's what made me
Hmm.
really think. So I don't know, but go ahead.
oh, you okay? I dropped the link if anyone wanted to come up and get off their chest how they feel about this live
This
today or something
Israelite
else.
000.
Right. It's at the top though, the link, you guys.
I
I
mean,
don't want
God bless the brother, but I'm making a play on his name just because of you know, like I don't know. I just feel like it was some clickbait going on this morning, and then it was a whole
Yeah.
another a whole
Yeah.
nother agenda with sidelining with her and just trying to remove yourself from looking any type of way pristine. You know,
Yeah.
they wanted to be look pristine and say, hey, man, now he should have adopted him if he was in the house. They crazy.
Right. You
I just
right.
think it's
Cause
sad.
and this is the thing. Spiritually, financially, physically, he did adopt them. He didn't adopt them lawfully.
Even emotionally, because he
Yeah, he
supported
still
them.
adopted them. They were there. He was taking care of them. They called him dad. He did, he
He
was
loved them, he
teaching them.
nourished them, he
Yeah, so
showed
him
them
and he
things.
did adopt them. Let's be real.
Right.
Mhm.
I mean,
That's
what more did you want him to do? You,
Don't put it on
he
paper so she can get a bag. Again, it wasn't about no nurturing or no. Well, if you really loved them, you would adopt. Well, why not adopt them? You say they're yours, and don't play them getting my type of mind games with nobody who has a strong mind. You're gonna fail.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think in the back of her mind, she knew that, it was a possibility that eventually they were going to get a divorce. So, like
Right.
you said, she not only was securing a bag, just being honest with her daughter, with him, she was going to secure an even more bigger bag with 3 children added on. And
Hmm.
think about this: if he was such a abuser, such a bad person, He was not a father figure. He was not good to the kids. He was disrespectful around the kids. Why would you want him to adopt the kids? Make it
Right.
make sense. That
And
would have
why
been
are you
my
marrying
question
me
to the
again? And why are you
Beehive.
marrying this man again? You know.
Exactly. That would have been my question to the Beehive, just to be honest. If that would have been the first initial thought of mine once that video came out. And I'm not going to sit up and say that, I don't understand where a lot of her supporters came from when it came to abuse, because like I said, everyone takes abuse very serious, and a lot of women that supported her, they came from that type of relationship, so they tried to understand and they wanted to support her. So emotionally they were invested in standing up for someone that they thought was a victim. So I understand that. But
Mm-hmm.
I said, we stand over here, of course, because we did not agree that that was happening. So, we could
Right.
agree to disagree, but I understand the mindset of them wanting to be there for her. But I still, would have questioned when that video came out, that situation as far as the kids, like, dang, why would you want him to adopt the kids if he was not a good father figure? What's up, Bree?
Right.
That don't make sense. So
If
it's
he's
a
Right.
lot of
active and present, why?
yeah.
Right.
The saga
Well, Tit for
continues.
tat says, it wouldn't have been that easy though, because in order for RH to adopt her three biological father would have to sign overall physical rights. And you know what? That's true. And guess what?
He
I
would have
believe he
signed
would
them.
have did it. Yep, he
Yeah,
would
he
have did
would
it.
have. Absolutely. And it's
And
sad
that's
to me.
sad.
Absolutely. I agree with you. We agree with you,
Yeah.
Tip. Yeah, tit for tat. It wouldn't been easy. And Angie and Truth Slayer, yes, he would have absolutely, without a hesitation, in my heart, I feel as though would have signed those papers, because I didn't see him taking any extra steps. I see that they love their father. We saw the excitement of them spending time with him and looking forward to it. We saw, I don't know if you guys strolled through, me being a content creator, once he became involved, of course I went down his page, strolled a little bit, get a little insight, a little feel for who he is and this and that. I saw that he posted something about a mother who had on some shorts, Daisy Dukes. And if you're not in my era or anything like that, you're a little younger, you might not know what Daisy Dukes is, but those are really, really short
But
shorts.
coochie
Okay?
cutters.
Yep, there you go. Coochie cutters. And he posted that, and he said, how could a mother show up like this at her I don't know if it was her first grade daughter's graduation? How can you represent your children like this? You are a mother. Put some clothes on. No man will
Yes,
respect
I
you
saw
like
that.
yeah. And then people were in the comments saying, bro, your baby mama dressed like this. What are you talking about? Did you see that, Truth Player?
Yeah, and then somebody commented back and said, "Yeah, but RH dropping it low with women, all these different women every day to his song for his children to see."
Yes. And this is
That was their rebuttal.
right. And this is the thing too. Going forward, everyone, nobody is bashing Brianna. I'm calling her by Brianna. I'm not calling her Lyonya anymore. So I'm showing respect. Everything each one of us grown women on this platform has stated today is out of care and just being brutal honest. It's not trying to offend anyone. So I don't want anyone to take it that way from the other side as well. Her not ex-husband, woo. Her ex children's father decided to come out and say some things. And we're just responding to those things that we feel as though was hypocritical, did not make sense. He did not give an explanation for anything. And yes, he has a right to not respond, but at the same time, don't tell everyone that you are. And then when you do respond, make it make sense. And then you say, we're not going to understand, like you so deep. You're not deep enough, bro. You don't even understand your points. You have to do, when you have to do videos to make your points, and you can't just sit up and talk and people ask comments and you answer them, then something's not right with you. That doesn't cause for no scriptures. That doesn't cause for a woken Israelite to be able to decode something. That's just dumb. Don't play on our tops. Don't insult our intelligence. Don't sit up and say we're not deep enough to understand answering a freaking question. What's wrong with you, bro? That's the silliest thing I ever heard, and people making excuses for it. Oh, he's so deep. You guys not gonna understand that we sit through a whole video where you freaking trolled us, that you didn't bring any type of light or information to anything that you claimed that you was. You said you had all receipts in your phone. Those were your words. Maybe not exact words, but then you come on there with scriptures that now we're thinking that you're saying those were the receipts. Like, it doesn't add up. Right. And you put everything on Robert. Like, that's not cool.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Facts.
You hear Angie?
I'm right here.
Okay.
Jeannie, thank you for coming through, Queen. Jeannie, say hello, everyone.
Oh, shoot. Hey, Jeannie.
Who said hello?
Jeannie.
Yeah, I posted it. I think. Hold on.
Oh, hey, Jeannie. Girl, I'm sorry. I had to verify before I was saying I was not wanting to know what was happening.
Oh, you okay? We all going in and out. It's time for people to stop making excuses. You know, at the end of the day, like I always say, right is right, wrong is wrong. We have not said anything wrong to make anyone upset. We did not talk down to Brianna. We're just being brutally honest. And that's what we all need to start doing nowadays. And especially with younger people. We say she's young and she might not know, but that is our job to step up because we do know and point out the obvious things. And men, you know, I do think that men should be held accountable when they decide to become fathers and at least take the initiative to own up to that role. Don't put that off on someone else. Don't take the easy way out. You had 3 kids by Brianna. So you had 3 responsibilities in a household with a complete stranger. And you didn't think that you should have been more cautious, more careful. You just think it's okay to just trust her thinking right now. Like, she's still married and you thought that was okay. You're a married man yourself. And you take your religion serious. So you thought it was okay for her to sin. You didn't even say, hey, Bree, even as a friend, hey, Bree, don't do this online. No, I don't think you should do that. Or I don't agree with the kids being around right now. That's not cool. You know, or don't put that online. Nothing. Like, you just okay with everything. And by you being okay with everything and thinking everything cool, to me, you look less of a man. You don't look like a man to me. No man that cares about his kids in a right mind, that calls themselves the woken Israelite, 725.4, 50 million thousand, whatever you said, the numbers behind it. You get what I'm saying? Like, you
Right.
Not 1,000. I can't.
right. Whatever you say, for real, 54, I don't know. Whatever you call yourself doing.
You
At the
said
end of
777 9311 or whatever, huh?
I'm just being so goofy, just calling out numbers. But whatever you call yourself doing, bro, at the end of the day, your kids should come first. And that comes to whether you have some side deal with her with the child support. Their safety should be first. You shouldn't sit up and make up scriptures or play videos where kids have to respect adults. So in your kid's mind, if you're drilling that, instilling that in them, so when something, the adult figure in that household, and I'm not saying anyone is doing anything, I'm just giving an example out there. You're saying if that adult decides to do something inappropriate to those kids where they feel uncomfortable, you're drilling in their mind that that is okay. Respect them. They're the adult. They make the final decision. They're the grown up. That's what you showed us in the video. So I can only imagine what you're telling your kids behind the scene. Make it make sense.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. That part.
Okay.
That part. Well, if
Yes,
anybody want to come up, please come up because I do have to drop down on my way out the door and
we
take care of a
appreciate
few
you, sis.
things. And I appreciate y'all. You already know.
Yes,
I'm interested to see if anybody else, content creation, has examine this and have any kind of feedback on it. I know a lot of people were saying, like, forget it, don't go over there and give the views. And others were like, oh, I definitely want to know what he has to say. So it's going to be interesting to see other people give feedback on their analysis of this live this morning. Um, but yeah, I have my notifications on. So if y'all jumping back on or anything, either one of y'all, I should get a notification. I'm about to do a little moving around on this
your
Saturday.
Saturday. Okay,
More
sis.
moving around. I've been running all day, it seemed like. But yeah, so I appreciate y'all. Thank you for always welcoming me up.
Always.
And,
No doubt.
you know, see you on the next one.
Okay, sis. We
Love you,
appreciate you
sis.
as well. Thank you for
All
coming
right.
up and
You're
sharing with us.
welcome. Love y'all too.
Yep. Love you too, boo. You know
All
what
right.
it
Bye
is.
bye.
All right. Yep. Bye bye. Shout out to Truth Slayer. Thank you for coming up, sis. Once again, we
Yes.
appreciate you. Enjoy your Saturday. Angie, you got a comment?
Jimmy says the Israelite did nothing for his children while the truth was in the picture. 6 years he did nothing, and he doesn't have a single receipt to prove it. That's the receipt he should have presented. Exactly, Queen.
Oh,
Exactly. Tifatat said it's no way they have elders and they not telling you the right thing to do as a man. With outside children, he around the wrong ones because they are all about standing on business. Exactly. And
mm,
Jeannie said the Israelite can't show one money order receipt, cash app receipt, endorsed check receipt. He and Bree are lying about him paying child support. I'm with you on that, Queen. I'm with you on that. I think they both was using this man and taking his money, and that's how I feel about it. No shots to anyone though.
yeah. And Bree Hives, please. I don't even want to call you guys Bree Hives. No, it's no size anymore. So please don't take anything the wrong way. You know, we all could agree to disagree. You know, but I want to explain something to every one of us. We all are adults. You know, there's no fanning out over anyone. Right is right, wrong is wrong. We don't, just because you may agree with Brianna, that does not necessarily mean you have to agree with the ex. You know,
Right.
we don't have to always agree with everyone or whatever they say all the time because we like them. We have our
Right.
own mind. We're free to think how we feel. I mean, we're free to think and believe what we want.
That's
We
right.
see things differently through our own eyes. And this man today, I don't know if it was clickbait, but he was definitely way wrong
Yeah.
the way he did things. And his response was so nonchalant and just throwing everyone off. We don't understand. He's so deep, but we're not gonna get it. What is there not to get? You're
Right.
speaking in English. We all speak English. We all understand and comprehend very well, sir. You were asked questions. You were gonna come on and provide receipts, but all you did was play a video. You didn't provide anything.
Right.
So how do you feel about everything, sis?
I think that he was trying to bring up old things, and if everybody came to a close, he should have been on that same page. If Brianna was respecting the fact that they wanted her and LaTruth were going to start co-parenting and trying to do it in a healthy manner. I think he should have respected that. Any opinions that he have about the situation, he should have left it alone. It should have been over. He's wrong. He's been wrong the entire time.
You ain't lying.
What Jeannie says, the leadership at the church doesn't know he's doing that. One very important commandment of the Israelite church is to go to the individual that offended you, not a social media. Oh, that's good to know. So he is out of order. According to his own leadership, he is out of order.
Wow.
That says a lot about him.
And that says a lot about his character. People
Yeah,
just need to pay attention to people's character and the things that they do and the way they carry and conduct themselves. That just shows you who they truly are. This
yeah,
man claims to be a leader, and he went to the higher up to speak on a situation that he wanted to bring clarity to. Yes, a few people said a couple things, but it's up to us how we choose to respond and what we choose to say. That's a grown man. And yes, you want to defend your name. You want to defend accusations that are out, but don't come out and just say everything's fine, you guys, waving, everything's okay. It's not what you see. That's not cool. And
right.
then you turn around and you kind of talk down to people in a dismissive way by saying they're not going to get it. Like you just so deep and woke. That doesn't make sense. You're sleeping. You've been sleeping for 18 months.
That's crazy. That's
Yes.
weird.
And then you pop up with a bop, bop. And I'm not even going to try to go back too deep with that. Um, Before we close out, I did, as well as Angie, invite anyone up if they had something brief they wanted to say or whatever in regards to this situation. Um, if not, we are going to probably be dropping down. And Angie, are you going live today still, sis?
Yes, we're gonna do we gonna call it late night, but it ain't gonna be late night. We're gonna say it's the late night vibe, baby.
Don't forget what I got
Yeah, we're
tomorrow.
not going late night. We just gonna call it late night because it's so late in the day.
Okay, sound good. And we normally don't do lives this late. Well, we working on doing better, you guys. We getting it together.
That's right.
We're gonna be bringing you different content and things like that. So I just want to say, going forward, we do appreciate all the support from my platform to Angie's as well, um, and to the other content creators that's in here. I appreciate you too. I have Tit for Tat. She's a content creator. V Bennett, Young Hebrew. Um, Apologize if I pronounce your name wrong. We got the chill room with Big Cheese and the fam. If I'm missing anyone, we got break room in the building as well. Angie, shout out your name, boo.
Angie is just lovely me with two E's.
Yep. But I'm going to put it on my community as well. But she's going to be doing a live. You definitely, definitely don't want to miss it. It's going to kind of be funny. I'm just going to be honest. So you don't want to miss it. We're going to have a nice little laugh today. We're going to review something. So please join us over there. You can bring some wine, some popcorn. Well, you might definitely want to do that. Grab you a couple of Debbie cakes. But I
And we're
think
gonna
this, what you say, sis?
okay, we're gonna turn up.
Yep. And we have one last comment, Angie.
What Jeannie's saying. Jeannie says, if Robert offended him, He is supposed to go to Robert and Robert alone. If Robert doesn't hear him, then he is to go back to Robert with a witness. Two witnesses must verify Robert failed to hear him. The Israelite is breaking his own church tenets, and Robert should contact his leadership about this. Wow, it's deeper than rap.
Yeah.
Oh, so he is wrong. He really wrong. He more wrong than we thought.
Wow.
And not only that, but he's being a hypocrite.
Wow. You right.
Mm. Because he
He's
wants
not
to give
practicing
Bible
his
verses and state that we don't understand, but even in his own practices, he's not following and abiding by them.
and
Mm.
tit for tat said they don't play. Yeah, they don't
Oh,
play. Wow. So his religion is more stricter than ours. And
right.
wow. And this
That's
is a thing.
unfortunate.
Go ahead, sis. I'm sorry.
No, I said that's unfortunate.
That is. You put yourself in a leadership role, you guys. It's very, very hard to ignore certain things. But when you choose to respond to those things, you have to respond in a manner where not only your audience understands, but you're bringing some type of clarity to the situation. And we did not get that today whatsoever. What clarity did this man bring? He didn't bring not one receipt, but he claimed to be the receipt king. And then you kind of try to belittle and bash a man that stepped up and made your kids' lifestyle phenomenal. If the mother choose to focus on that and put the finances more so towards the kids, your kids are living good.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot give that man credit for that. What type of real man are you? And
Mm-hmm.
like Tit for Tat said, or was it Jeannie, that this should have been dealt with on the back end. You should have had a personal conversation with Robert. You should have been able to one-on-one call this man if you felt some sort of way about anything and talk to him and address him man to man instead of coming on the internet trying to prove something to us. We should be the last people you talk to. At the end of the day, even when this divorce went on, whether Brianna, you claim, or anyone else thinks that kept those two apart, I'm the man. Nothing is going to keep me from knowing who you are and having that personal relationship and feel for you when it comes to my children, my 3 children that's in a home with you, that I have no control over, no say so. I don't know what's going on. So you dang on right, it's going to be my duty to make sure I get to know you.
Right. You're right.
Mm-hmm. But have you set a time, Angie, or not yet?
Not yet. What time do you think we should? I think we'll give it about is 7 o'clock good for you?
7 o'clock is great.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so you want to drop your can you do it, or you want me to just share it on my community? You'll do
Hold
your
on, I'll type it in the chat. Let me see. I'll put the ad.
this is gonna be funny. I already know. We're going to be reviewing a video. And this is Angie's channel, you guys, as well. Please make sure you join us at 7 o'clock. We are going to be reviewing a video. We just want to thank everyone for coming in today. Thanks for the love and support. We appreciate you. Thanks to my amazing mod, Tit for Tat. Thanks to the other content creators as well as the supporters from both sides. Like I said, we might not always agree about certain things, and that's okay over here. We can agree to disagree, but we're about positive vibes and positive energy going forward. In no way, shape, or form we try to make Brianna feel bad about anything. This conversation was in response to the sleeping Israelite that was sleeping while he did his live today.
Right. And tit for tat. Yeah. Thank you, tit for tat.
Tit for tat is amazing. And
Yes.
tit for
Y'all
tat is
please
a
go follow her.
yes, that's what I was just about to say. Yep, tit for tat is a content creator as well, you guys. Tit for tat soon. I want us to work together and do some things too soon, sis. I'm just trying to build my stuff back up right now. But before I get off, I just want to say thanks to everyone. Thanks to the positive comments. I see them. If I do not respond, but I heard it, just know I appreciate it. You know, I appreciate everybody that's been positive.
Most
That's
definitely.
yes, we love you too, boo. Not a problem. I'm down. Good. Yep, we got to get you going tit for tat, right, Angie?
That's right.
Yep. I appreciate you, sis. You definitely been here for the journey, V. Benef. I am Queen in the building. Hey, I am Queen. We'll see you later, V. Benef. You gonna join us on Angie's live, right? You better be there, brother. But thanks for everyone coming in. Bless you all. I wish each and every one of you a wonderful Saturday. Some of you, we will be seeing you soon. Take care. Angie, you have any final words?
Peace and love to everyone.
Peace and love to everyone. My favorite word. I'm out.